Hello, my darlings. Thank you so much for tuning in to Stella Roots today. I am so glad to be back and moving and going and shaking. And I thank you guys for checking on me while I was gone for so long. I had a lot going on, guys. I'm sorry. But we're all better now. And if you follow me on Facebook, you've gotten a little bit of the story of what has been happening. But I am thankful and grateful for people that just check on you just because. People I don't even know were sending me messages asking me if I was okay. And I thank you so much and God bless you for that. Now, let's get into our video today. So today on Stella Ruth, we are going to make one of my favorite comfort foods. I am not a great big fan of beef most of the time. I'll have it every now and then, but I could honestly do without it. But today I am going to show you guys how to make a very simple beef stew that is absolutely delicious. I made it for myself and my mom and my husband, and it was a hit. Everybody ate it. It was great. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alrighty guys, so we're going to start out with our chopped veggies. I have some carrots and onions and bell peppers here in this bowl, and you can slice them any way you like, but this is the way I like them sliced. I also have some cut up beef. I took a roast and a steak and cut them into cubes and just have the two together as a good mixture. And then I also have our potatoes, red potatoes that we're going to use, some cut up celery here and some cut up tomatoes. Now we're going to start out by seasoning our meat. And here I'm using some of my herb sea salt with a little onion and garlic, dried onion and garlic. And of course, you be liberal with this and you take your clean hands and mix it together so that it can get coated with the seasoning, and then set it to the side. And the reason that you're liberal with it is because some of that seasoning is going to come off as you're putting it in the pot. Now we've already preheated our pot with a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil just for the sauteing of the veggies. And you're going to start putting them in. I always start with my celery. It has a beautiful aroma when it's sauteed, but the celery for me seems to always have get a little bit more a harder time getting soft rather than the other veggies. So I'm going to start sauteing with my celery first. Now after it starts to get a little glossy, I'm going to start putting in all of the other veggies. I put in my carrots and my onions and my bell peppers, scrape all that in there as you can see. And then we're just going to stir that around and saute it. Let the heat and the oil really let it marry each other and see how it starts to get a little glossy. That's what you're looking for. Then I'm going to season right here, but I'm not using any salt. I'm using some of our Round the Way seasoning that has no salt in it. You can get that on stellaroots.com. Just some dried onions and garlic and some other things, herbs and stuff. No salt at this point. Then you're going to put in your tomatoes, and because the tomatoes are soft, guys, you want to put them in a little later with the vegetable mixture as you're sauteing, and then let all of that meld together. Now we're going to put the top on and let it sweat a little bit. About 3 to 4 minutes later, you come back and of course you got this beautiful steam, and it starts to make kind of its own liquid in the bottom, guys. So they're sweated off. They're starting to get soft, not too soft, but just soft enough. And so now we add in our meat. Because sometimes a lot of people like to saute their meat first, but for me, this makes the meat a little more tender when you add it in at this point, instead of cooking it first and then putting everything in. And so I'm going to put in my meat here and stir it around. And then I'm going to put the top back on and let it sweat for about 4 minutes. Now we come back and the meat has started to brown, which is beautiful, and it's smelling heavenly, as you can see me waving over the pot there. And then I'm stirring it around, and yes, it requires a lot of stirring and checking at first, but once you get it to where you want it to be, you can let it sit. And so I'm going to pour in 1 can of tomato sauce, and I had a little kitchen fail there. 1 can of tomato sauce, and stir it around. I do like my beef stew to have a little bit of a redness to it, and that's just my preference. And then I'm adding 4 cups of water. Now my heat is in between medium and high, guys. Not so high that it'll burn up, but high enough to where it'll start the boiling process. Now I'm adding in my salt product, and I'm using sea salt. I have an herbed sea salt. That's one of the products that I'm using, and it's a sea salt with some herbs infused into it. And you're going to make sure that you're tasting this as you go after it cooks a little bit, because you don't want it too salty. So you start out with a little bit, but you have a lot of water, so you got to remember you got to flavor that water. Now at this point, we're adding in our potatoes, because we don't want the potatoes all mushy, so we want that to be the last thing we add. I'm gonna put the top on, let it boil for a little bit on medium, and then go back and check it and stir it around, and it looks delicious. See how good it looks so far. And then we're gonna put the top on and let it simmer. Put your fire on low and let it simmer for about 45 minutes. And when you come back, look at this. This is beautiful. You have beautiful beef stew that looks absolutely delicious. And there you have it, a very quick and easy and very, very tasty beef stew, the ultimate comfort food. Now, if I had had time, I would have showed you guys how to make some good corn muffins to go with that stew, but you can eat it with corn muffins, biscuits, you can eat it with crackers, potato chips, whatever you want. I enjoy just the beef stew as just by itself, because it is a wonderful comfort food. It feels good, it tastes good, it just makes my life better that day. It's getting it's not really cold yet, but fall has started. And here in Georgia, we've been getting a lot of storms and rain and things like that. So that was just the perfect meal for one night. Now, you can do this with chicken. You can do it with pork. You can do whatever kind of meat that you choose. This was just a beef stew video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope and pray that you give it a try and share this video with somebody that may want to know how to make some beef stew. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let us know that you're part of the family. Share the love, people. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. God bless you. I'm going to leave a link below to the Stella Roos signature seasoning webpage, so that you can get some of the seasonings that we used in this video if you like. And there's also going to be a link to the Facebook page and all of that, so you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I just learned how to use the Instagram thing, child. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Go check out our website, and if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email, which will be down below as well. Thanks again for tuning in. God bless you. As always, guys, I love you, love you, love you. Have a blessed rest of your day. Be safe. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wear your mask and be socially distanced. And above all, live life, laugh often, and eat some good food while you're doing it. You guys have a great day.